Yesterday, what we did is I gave you a function and I asked you to write the inverse. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you two functions and I'm going to ask you if they're inverses, okay? So one will say find and graph the inverse. The other one is going to say determine whether the pair of functions are inverse functions. And what that means is you're going to plug one into the other. And when you're done combining all of the like terms, your answer should be x. If your answer is not x, then they are not inverse functions. So I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? So basically, we're going to plug in g into f, and then we're going to plug f into g. As soon as you get something that doesn't add up, that isn't x, then it's not inverse. So what we're going to do is we're going to find f of g of x. So what that means is we're going to plug in 1/3 x plus 4. So I just replaced, well, what is g of x? G of x is 1/3 x plus 4. So I just brought it down. That means I'm going to take this and replace it into this function. So it's going to be 3 times 1/3 x plus 4 minus 3. So I just replaced the x and the f of x with 1/3 x plus 4. Now we're going to use the distributive property. What is 3 times 1/3? 1. What is 3 times 4? And then we have that minus 3. So what is that? What does that simplify down to? X plus 9. So because it does not simplify down to x, it needs to be just the plain old x. These are not inverse functions. You only need one to prove it, you guys. These two are not inverses because f of g of x does not equal x. You guys, if it equaled x, then we would have gone to the next one. Yes?
Could you just find the inverse?
Okay, so now we're going to do f of g of x. I'm going to replace x with the square root of x plus 1 over 2. Okay, so we're going to do 2 times the square root of x plus 1 over 2 squared minus 1. Because it was 2x squared minus 1, so I'm putting x plus 1 over 2 in there. What is the square? When you square a square root, what happens? It cancels out, so you're left with 2 times x plus 1 over 2. Now, what happens to those 2's? These 2's right here? This 2 and this 2, what happens to those? They cancel each other out. You're left with x plus 1 minus 1, which equals x. So far, we're still in the game. So now we're going to do the opposite. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do g of f of x. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the square root we're going to take 2x squared minus 1 and we're going to put it in the square root. So we're going to have 2x squared minus 1 plus 1 all over 2. Well, what is 2x squared minus 1 plus 1? What does that give you? 2x squared over 2, because negative 1 plus 1 disappears. What happens with the 2's? 2x squared over 2. They cancel each other out, and you're left with the square root of x squared. And what is the square root of x squared? X. So, yes, they are inverses. Because both equal x. Oh man, which is the identity. Okay, good?